This is a style of assignment that we have done before, but we're going to spend more time with it just because I thought that this article was really cool and really interesting and about a strange thing. And I thought the best way for us to work with it would be to look at some unfamiliar words and also get to read about something interesting at the same time. So let's take a gander. What we're doing today is determining word meaning. You've done this before. So you're going to read an article about plague doctors. So if you have been looking through the Nearpod, you know that the plague was a powerfully awful disease that still exists today, but it's a lot more treatable now. The fact of the matter is it was not terribly treatable in mid-century Europe. You saw on a previous slide that at one point the plague wiped out anywhere from 25 to 60% of the population of Europe, which is just devastating. If you think about, coronavirus right now, that's maybe at like a portion of 1%. This would be like if you showed up at school tomorrow and all of a sudden over half of the kids were gone. So they came up with all kinds of wild ways to try to figure out how to deal with the plague. And one of those was plague doctors and these costumes that you see right here. So this article is going to explain what's going on with these strange costumes. So let's talk a little bit about the process just one more time. So our instructions: read through the article. At each highlighted word, fill out the box with what you think the word means. Explain what context clues you used to make an educated guess about the word's meaning. After, copy and paste the word's definition from Merriam-Webster to see how you did. So you have these highlighted words, and then you have the box below. Let me read through afflicting so I can talk through my process of figuring out why I thought that word meant what it meant. Okay. The plague was one of the most feared diseases in the world, capable of wiping out hundreds of millions of people in seemingly unstoppable global pandemics and afflicting its victims with painfully swollen lymph nodes, blackened skin, and other gruesome symptoms. Okay. So, what I decided to go with was I look at this and I say that it's doing something to its victims, with painfully swollen lymph nodes, blackened skin, other gruesome symptoms. So whatever it's doing to its victims, it's bad, right? And it's resulting in pain. Blackened skin, that doesn't sound good. Symptoms, I know that has to do with illness. So I decided that maybe hurting was right. Hurting its victims with painfully swollen lymph nodes. So I used the context clues around me to tell me roughly whether this word was good or bad. And then I figured out from there with logic, hurting seems to make the most sense. So I checked in Merriam-Webster.com. Again, you can click on this link that is already inside of your document. And you can type your word in up here after you've already done your definition. Again, always make sure that you're doing your definition before you're going and searching for the word. And then you will do that for the remaining 9 of these. But again, just to make sure that you are actually trying to figure out the word based on the context clues, and I've only chosen words that you should be able to figure out based on what's around the word. When you are done with that, you're going to answer some questions. And there's a new instruction here that we haven't done before. It says, use one of the words above in each answer and highlight the word. So we can try to practice internalizing these words. I want you to answer the questions down here using one of the vocabulary words. So you would maybe use afflicted inside your answer right here. You would maybe use prolong inside your answer right here. Okay. The question that I am the most interested in your answer to is this one right here. So we saw a little bit in that quiz about the four humors. It's a fun quiz. It's funny to think about how wrong scientists used to be way back in the day. But it's also interesting, right? The idea that illness is tied to your personality, that there's something about who you are as an individual that affects your health, as opposed to your health just being something that you don't really have a lot of control over, right? And we see another kind of interesting treatment of the sick right here. We're going to keep talking a lot about how people think about the sick, how people treat the sick, whether or not people consider it an individual's fault if they're not in a particular state of health. So make sure that you're paying a lot of attention to this answer, and then you will be done with your work for today. Thank you so much. And I'll do one more update on Station 11 in a different video, but I will get back to you on that. Thank you, guys.